When it comes to elections, news channels have some work to do, and that's the opinion polls. What are people's thoughts, their ideologies, and to a certain extent, the political party's future? But many of you do have a question as to, are these opinion polls right? Do they predict the future happenings in elections? I'll let you know about this in the end of the video, viewers. But before that, in this edition, we have three opinion polls: the C Voter opinion poll, Times Veto opinion poll, and Republic P-Marq opinion poll. I welcome you all to this packed edition of D.Opinion of the Nation. Let's analyze all the three opinion polls, viewers, here. Let me start with Punjab. Let's not take a lot of time, but just dive into the real cause of this video. And the numbers on your screen, viewers, is the numbers of 2017 elections. Congress was the single largest party with 77 seats. The second largest party was AAP with 20 seats. Shiromani Akali Dal with 15 seats and BJP with 3 seats, and independents at 0. This is the numbers of 2017. Now let's look at opinion polls of Punjab. C Voter, Times and Republic predicts AAP to be the single largest party. Also, when you look at the range of seats, Republic and C Voter is predicting the same range of seats. The first takeaway, let's look at the takeaways, viewers, the key takeaways from these. The first takeaway is that there will be a hung government, and which further implies to be a coalition government in the further coming days. The second major takeaway, which caught my eyes, was AAP and Congress are making a huge impact. This proves that Amrinder Singh's resignation did not prove to be helpful for him, but proved to be helpful for both AAP and Congress. The third takeaway, which is being proved with these numbers on your screen, is that BJP is not making the impact in Punjab. It's just with 3 seats or 4 seats maximum. The last takeaway is the Channi factor, which is helping the Congress, because Congress changed the CM face. They could secure their seats. And the second point, anti-incumbency is not making a major impact in the Punjab elections. If you question me about anti-incumbency, as I have already said, that's not a major importance, viewers. So this is the analysis of Punjab opinion polls. Let's look at it. Uttarakhand. The second image on your screen is the 2017 numbers of Uttarakhand. Now let's look at the predictions of C Voter. C Voter predicts BJP on lead with 33 to 39 seats, whereas Congress to get around 39 to 45 seats. Look at the Times and Republic numbers, viewers. Republic is also predicting somewhere around 36 to 42, but Times predicts a number which is much greater. Major takeaways from Uttarakhand, viewers. First, BJP will be in power and the single largest party because BJP has already crossed the halfway mark. Except the one of Times Veto opinion polls, the C Voter and Republic opinion polls looks too close. A neck-to-neck fight between BJP and Congress seems to be the picture over there. I think a slip of tongue can change the future. Now, when you look at AAP, it seems to open its account here. Few of them have a misconception as to AAP is getting the vote share of Congress. But I feel this is something wrong. Because when you look at the numbers only in 2017, it was a bipolar election, which was between BJP and Congress. But before that, in Uttarakhand, you could see a three-way election where even BSP used to manage to get few seats. I have the numbers, viewers. In 2012, BSP got 3 seats. Now, when you come to the present scenario, the opinion polls are predicting AAP to get 3 seats. So I feel that Uttarakhand is coming back to its original form, that's three-way elections. The X factor for BJP in Uttarakhand seems to be the PM Modi, Prime Minister Modi factor over there, which is bringing BJP back. Now, when you look at Uttar Pradesh, viewers, the third state, Uttar Pradesh, we'll be looking at it, viewers. We have already made a video on the complete analysis of Uttar Pradesh last week. But this week, let's look at the opinion polls of Uttar Pradesh. 2017 numbers are on your screen. BJP swept UP with 312 seats. SP managed to get 19 seats, BSP 47 seats, and Congress with 7 seats. Now let's look at the opinion polls, viewers. The 3 opinion polls are on your screen, viewers. All these opinion polls tell us one fact, that BJP is in lead will win these elections but will not sweep like the previous time. Whereas when you look at the numbers of SP, it's great improvement. SP has improved on a larger scale with 19 seats in 2017 elections and standing today at somewhere around 125 seats. It's something great. They have improved, not just doubled, but tripled their vote, that's the vote share, and got 125 seats. Now the key takeaways are in UP, as I have already mentioned, clean sweep by BJP will not happen in this election like the previous election, but winning these elections will surely be a point. In Purvanchal, the anti-incumbency is playing the major role for BJP. Bundelkhand is important for BJP because BJP in the previous election swept Bundelkhand. But this time it seems to be again BJP coming back in form in that region. In Awadh, I think there will be a bipolar election. That's SP and on the other hand BJP. So it will be a tough fight in Awadh. I'd like to extend this edition a bit for 2 minutes viewers and would like to tell you the history of UP elections. Why look at the history of UP elections? Because let's trace the path, let's come to the present, what's going to happen. Let's look at it. Pre-1989, Congress was completely in power. But from 1989, the change over was quite interesting. 1989, Mulayam Singh from Janata Dal was the CM. In 1991, Kalyan Singh was CM from BJP. In 1993, Mulayam Singh was back as CM, but this time from SP. From 1995, BSP opened its account. 1995 to 1997, Mayawati was CM from BSP. 1999 to 2002, BJP was in power with 3 CMs. Kalyan Singh, Rajnath Singh also included. But from then till 2017, BSP and SP rotated their strikes as CM. After 2017, Yogi joined the list. This wasn't the main reason why I took these 2 minutes viewers. A minute I've taken. 1 more minute is analyzing what's happening in UP. The main castes in Uttar Pradesh are 3 in number. 1 of Dalits, 2 Muslims and 3 Brahmins. Congress was holding on to these 3 castes with CM candidates and cabinet ministers. But after 1989, Congress lost the votes of Muslims and this benefited the then Janata Dal. The votes now got scattered, BJP getting the Brahmin votes and Dalit votes for BSP. The votes of OBCs, Yadavs and Muslims proved to be the beginning of a new party, and that's when Mulayam Singh Yadav came to power. This was the story of 1989, but in 1991 there was a new CM face, that's Kalyan Singh. BJP was damn sure that it would get the votes of Lodi community, which the CM represented. The farmers in turn supported them. BJP was also sure of getting Brahmins and upper caste votes. Fortunately or unfortunately, BJP even got the votes of Muslims and non-Yadav OBCs. This made them win the elections, but during this tenure, Babri Masjid demolition came into picture, and thus CM Kalyan Singh had to resign. After this, Mulayam Singh Yadav comes into picture. Now let's come to post 2000 era. Post 2000, Congress started declining. I think around 1990s itself, Congress started declining, but 2000 emerged to be the most declining era of Congress in Uttar Pradesh. 2007, BJP lost even the seats of Brahmins. But that's when Mayawati marginalized the Dalits. This gave Amit Shah and Modi a chance to fight back. PM Modi in 2012 was also called to be a CM candidate. This made Dalits and non-OBCs to vote. In 2017, OBCs votes went to Modi, Dalit votes went to Modi, Brahmins and upper caste vote went to Modi. Also, PM schemes targeted OBCs and SCs, and this was an advantage to win in UP elections. Now let's look at other 2 states, viewers. I won't be taking a lot of time for that. Manipur and Goa. BJP in Manipur is projected to gain 2.7% vote share according to Republic P-Marq's opinion polls. According to me, the reasons turn out to be the incumbent government has proved itself for 2 reasons. 1, the ground reports say that they have built broad roads, the infrastructure is great, and the second point, the law and order situation is Very good. When you look at Goa, BJP has drastically come down, and also Congress too. In the previous election, it was a bipolar election, whereas this election is turning out to be a tri or quad elections, where TMC and AAP have opened their accounts. Republic predicts BJP to get somewhere around 16 to 20, Congress to get 9 to 13, up to get 4 to 8, and others to get 1 to 3. Both C Voter and Times Veto opinion polls predict BJP to get somewhere around 17 to 21, whereas C Voter predicts Congress to get 4 to 8, up to increase its vote share to 5 to 9, whereas Times predicts Congress to get 4 to 6 and up to get 8 to 11. These are the opinion polls, viewers. Are these opinion polls important? Becomes the question. I'll answer it, viewers. The opinion polls work in such a way that they just show the path. The seats may waver. The seats here or there, maybe 2% extra or 2% less can happen, but they show you the way, how the election is being proceeded, how the election is going, and what's going to happen in elections. The range of the vote share may increase or decrease, but this is how the election will proceed, is what the opinion polls tells us. I wrap up this edition of D.India Focus over here. Until the next time I meet you all, signing off, Shri Charan. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for watching me. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and support this young team to get the updates. Thank you, viewers.